Hi everybody, my name is Katie Ashley. I am the Membership Support Coordinator with the Elko Area Chamber. Today I am with Jaymie Donovan. Jaymie, you want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm Jaymie Donovan, the Community Relations Manager for Orla Mining here in Elko. I've been with Orla for about almost a year and a half now, but I've been in the mining industry for about 17 years, always in people support roles, and yeah, happy to be here.
Awesome. So you said you've been with Orla for about a year and a half now. Can you tell us a little bit about the history of Orla South Railroad and how you guys got started?
Sure. So Orla South Railroad, so the South Railroad Mining District is a historic mining, or the Railroad Mining District is a historic mining district that's been there since the late 1800s. So where, back in the olden days when people were mining for gold, that was an area where people were mining for gold. More recently, Gold Standard Ventures was doing exploration work there, and Orla purchased Gold Standard Ventures in August of 2022. So that's how it came to be Orla South Railroad. Orla, the company, was founded in 2016. Our corporate offices are in Canada. And we have we have the project here, then we have a running operation, a gold operation in Mexico, and then another project that we're permitting in Panama. We are a fairly small company. Globally, we're less than 400 or so people, and then here locally in Elko, we have about 15 or so.
Wow, but it sounds like you guys stay busy.
We do, yeah.
Mexico, Panama, here.
Yes.
Canada.
Yep, and we have a lot of people within the company globally that have worked for a lot of the other, the larger mining companies, and then broke off for whatever reason and decided to start a new junior mining company in 2016.
But that's amazing because you get all of that experience and history from those other companies that you can bring into this small one.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how long have you or Orla been a member of the Elko Area Chamber, and what has that experience been like for you guys?
So Orla joined the chamber in spring of last year, 2023, but GSV was a member previous to that. But since I can only speak to the time that I've been here with Orla, but it's been wonderful. It's been interesting to me because I've been involved with the chamber for many, many years with previous roles in previous companies. But coming in with a new company where people don't necessarily know who we are, being a part of the chamber has been really helpful to us for that name recognition, that brand recognition, and having folks in the community know who we are. So I use the benefits of the chamber a little bit differently now than I had used in years past, just because my social media pages don't have as many followers and things like that. And so that's something that's been my goal since starting with the company in 2023, is really having people know who we are, knowing that we're not a railroad. That's my goal. And knowing that we're a mining company, that we are permitting a new mine in Elko County, and having people just recognize that Orla logo and know who we are. And the chamber's been great with that, with sharing social media posts, hosting different events where we can get out there, I can get out there and introduce the company and myself.
And you guys were able to host an event here with the chamber.
Yes, we were. So one of the events that I really, really enjoy that the chamber hosts are the business before and after hours. So we were able to host the business before hours in June of this year. And as with any event, you never know how many people are going to show up.
But it was great. Yeah. It was an amazing turnout.
Yeah, we had a great turnout, and it was a great opportunity to kind of introduce us to some community members that may not have known who we were. Brought the folks here to our building here in Elko, which was wonderful. They were able to see our core shed and kind of see what we've got going here. And this building was a lab for many, many years. So I think bringing folks here and having them see that it's not a lab anymore and it's a new company and we are permitting a new mine, that was wonderful. Yeah, I think we had about 50 or so people, and getting everybody in one space and having myself and our general manager and some other folks be able to speak to the group and let folks know who we are. That was it was a really good kickoff to help getting our name out there and our logo.
Awesome. So we kind of talked about this, but are there any other ways that being a chamber member has benefited Orla?
Yeah, I think it's just getting out there, being involved with the community. I try to go to all of the different events that are hosted. The Sherman dinner is one of our favorites, right? Just getting there and once again having our name there, having, getting folks from the team to go and attend the events and participating in that fundraiser. That's a really good time. And what else? Let me think. The lunch and learns, right? I've had the opportunity a couple different times to do, whether it was just with Orla or partnering with like Women Mining and some other organizations, to do a talk about the mining industry and how it benefits our communities and how it benefits our state. And what we do is what I've seen over the years in the industry is that folks outside of this area definitely don't know what it's about, but quite a few folks within our local communities don't really understand the mining industry unless they've worked there or at least toured. So anytime I have the opportunity to teach, whether it's little kiddos, adults, whoever, about the mining industry, all it can do is benefit us in the industry and our communities as well. So.
I love that you're so passionate about it. I obviously went to those lunch and learns. We recorded them and put them up on our YouTube channel, so people can find them even now. But I grew up in this community and I had family in mining, and I had no idea half of the stuff that just mining helps sustain and produce, and like what the actual point of it is, because I'm just like, oh, we're getting gold, it's fine.
Sure. Yeah.
So no, it is very informational and beneficial. So thank you for hosting those.
Sure, absolutely.
This is another one, we kind of talked on that. Are there any additional chamber events or programs that you have found particularly helpful? You mentioned lunch and learns, the business before and after hours events, Sherman dinner fundraiser, which your table had a blast at. That's where I wanted to sit. I was like, they look like they're having fun. Is there anything else off the top of your head that you can think of that, whether it be some of our free advertising, social media pushes, stuff like that?
Sure. I think the social media is huge. And like I said, using my benefits with the chamber differently than I have in the past. And I think whenever I post something on social media, seeing that you guys share it to your page as well, it's just so helpful, because I have 140 or so followers, right? And just trying to build that and have people know who we are. And as we know, there's so many different avenues to get our brand out there and get our name out there. So there's the in-person options, opportunities that the chamber offers, and then there's the social media, and then there's the weekly happenings that I haven't taken advantage of. I need to.
You have those informational sheets about Orla and about mining and stuff. You should send some of those over.
I should. And just thinking how do I hit all the people, right? And if they just happen to see it in one of those places, that's great. Or they see it multiple times, right? The more they see it, the more folks might remember who we are and know who we are.
And know that you're not a railroad.
And we're not a railroad.
Okay, so in what ways does Orla give back to or engage with the local community?
So when I was brought on in June of 2023, I was the first community relations manager for Orla, South Railroad in Nevada. And they've really given me the opportunity to build the program as I see fit, which I think is fantastic. And I think it's really important as a company, as a community relations person, to get out there, to get involved, to help where we can with our time and with money where we can as well. But we've created partnerships with a couple of different local nonprofit organizations where we have gone and volunteered our time. One of those is Communities in Schools, and they have a food hunger program for students that don't have enough food to eat over the weekend. And as folks know, the Elko County School District went to a 4-day school week this year, so that's added one more day that those kiddos don't necessarily have enough food. We built this partnership in September of last year. Every other week, myself and somebody else from the team, we take one of our trucks, we go pick up boxes of food, and we deliver them out to the schools in the county. And it's just been something we do. It takes a couple hours every other week, so it's not a ton of time. But then that's something that their employees aren't having to do, or they're not having to find a volunteer somewhere else to do that work. It gets us out there. A lot of the folks at the schools think we work for Communities in Schools, which is fine. But it gets us out there, and it shows my workforce here that there is a need in our community, that there are folks that need help. And it's an easy way to give back, and we can give our time. So we've done that. We've worked with Fish as well and some other organizations just to help and give back. We also really I want to support everybody, right? I have a really hard time saying no when somebody comes and asks for a donation. My budget is only so big. as far as dollars go. So what I try to do is, spread the wealth as far as I can, right? So any of those smaller organizations that reach out that need the help, that might not have the ways or the needs or the opportunities to get out and ask or get really big funding dollars, to help them as well. So it's the little sports teams, it's Ruby Mountain Resource Center, it's all these other organizations that reach out to help. It's the Trick or Treat Streets. Anybody that comes, we try to do, even if it's just a little bit to help them with their program, we do that. So that's been really rewarding, and it's amazing, these smaller organizations. It can be a very small amount, but they're so grateful for it, which I appreciate. And then scholarships is something else that we focused on this last year. We gave out 8 $1,000 scholarships to graduating seniors in Elko County, and then we're looking to bump that up. And that's the great thing, being in with Orla at the very beginning, right? Getting to build the program, getting to build the teams, getting to build the budget, all the stuff. Because right now we don't have dollars coming in here in Elko, right? The project in Mexico is operating, so that's funding our exploration efforts here, which is great. But once we have dollars coming in, right, then we'll be able to have more money, because we're making money here in Elko County. But yeah, trying to do the best that we can and help as many people as we can with what we have.
I love that you mentioned the time that you put into it, because I think a lot of people do think that, like, in order to support our local community, it has to be dollar-based, but no one thinks about all of the time that goes into volunteering and, like, pursuing these efforts as well. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
And I love that you just pull someone from your team. Like,
I know.
come on, you're coming with
like,
me
it's
today.
fine, I promise. I know, it takes a special person to be a community relations person. I get that, right? And I'm surrounded by geologists and folks that might not necessarily be people.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's fun, let's go do the thing.
Yeah,
But
no,
they've
love
been
that.
great, so it's good.
Awesome. What role do you see Orla playing in the growth of the local economy? I know you said that you're not currently bringing in dollars here right now, but when that happens.
So we're in the permitting process, right? So we're exploring, right? Looking for gold, finding more gold, doing all of that stuff right now. But then working through the permitting process, we're a couple years out from breaking ground on construction of the mine. But once that's done, obviously building the mine and then moving into operation. Once we're in full operation, we figure we'll have about 300 full-time employees. So it's not a huge operation, but it's an option for employment for folks that live here locally. And then something that's really cool about our project and our operation in the future is it's located in Elko County. So what a lot of folks might not know about the gold mining industry is where the gold is taken out of the ground, whatever county that is in, that's who gets the taxes. So a lot of our surrounding gold operations are outside of Elko County. The people that work there live in Elko County for the most part, but the gold mines themselves are not in Elko County.
Right.
So this will be one of the only operating mines in Elko County where those tax dollars will come back to Elko County, which is fantastic. We've seen a lot of support from local, government leaders and the commissioners and folks like that, because it'll be a big deal for Elko County to see some of those tax dollars from the mining industry, where so often we see those dollars go to other counties.
Which is huge, especially being Elko County is one of the largest counties
Yep.
in the U.S.
Right.
So having that to help support our county, that's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Yeah, that's awesome. What are your future goals for Orla? Where do you see it in 5 or 10 years? So you said you're permitting.
Right. So I think at this point, right, we are just chugging along on that permitting process. So like I said, we're a couple years out still from breaking ground on construction. So 5 to 10 years we're looking at, getting our permits, breaking ground on construction, building our mine, and then going into operation. And then just building an amazing operation with an awesome team. And we did, Orla purchased another land package just south of ours. It's called Contact Gold. So we've already grown our land package a bit to the south. So just continuing to explore, to grow, and do great things for the next, 5 or 10 years. So
Well, that's awesome. And it'll happen in a blink, right?
It will,
the next
right.
thing you know, it's going to be
Right.
happening and moving forward. I mean, this year's flown by already,
Right,
so
right,
it'll
right.
happen soon.
Yeah, it's easy to look and be like, oh my gosh, we still have 2 years. Like, yeah, well, I've already been here a year and a half, and it feels like I just started. So yeah, time goes by so quickly. It'll be here in no time.
Yeah, absolutely. And lastly, what do you love most about being part of this community and as your role as community relations manager for Orla?
I love Elko. I moved to Elko in 1989. I started first grade at Northside Elementary, and we came here for my dad to get a job at Barrick. So he started in the mining industry in 1989, worked for 30 years, and then retired in 2019 after 30 years. So Elko is pretty much all I know as a community. Mining is pretty much all I know as an industry. And getting to take those two things and combine them in my role as a community relations manager is fantastic. I enjoy every minute of every day of my job. I love that I'm a local, right? I wasn't born here. My kids were born here. I know, I wish I could say I was born here. I was born here. But being able to talk to folks in the community and like when I took this job at Orla and I was calling people and introducing myself, they're like, oh, where are you from? Which country are you from? I'm like, oh, I'm from Elko. Like, this is my home. And I think that comes across knowing the people that are from Elko County that have lived here for a long time. Speaking to somebody else that's from here, I think they're more open to speaking to me, as to where maybe they might not be so open to somebody that's coming from a different country or a different place.
Yeah.
So I couldn't imagine doing community relations somewhere other than Elko, because like I have so much passion for this community and the people here and the organizations and all the things. When I've been looking for jobs in other places, and I'm like, oh, you can do community relations in Arizona or community relations in Mars. I'm like, well, that's not my community. So like, how do you build that program when it's not, your community? So that's something that I really love. I've loved the opportunity to come in at the ground, the very beginning of this project. I'm learning so much about permitting and all of that comes along with that. I knew there was a lot, but I had no idea all the steps that had to go through all the boxes that needed to be checked to permit a new mine, building relationships with new people, and like I said, being able to do the volunteer work, because I think that's important, and donating where we think is important, and supporting the high school seniors. And one of the girls we gave a scholarship to, she's so kind, and with our scholarship program, we lowered the GPA requirement, and we wanted to give the scholarships to students that had gone through hardships in their life. And so their essays, some of these essays that these students wrote were amazing, and no, their GPA wasn't a 3.9 or 4.0 plus, right? But they're good students and they're gonna do good things, and being able to support them. And this one student, she's written so many thank you letters, and she come to see me in person, and just being able to help these students that might not get scholarships from somebody else is pretty amazing. So there's just so much joy that comes along with my job, and and the industry, I love the industry. I have a picture of me holding a gold bar at Barrick Gold Strike in the early 90s, and then me holding a gold bar, same at Barrick Gold Strike 30 years later. And wow, super cool, right? And it's just something that stuck with me, and I said, gold is this girl's best friend. So it's been amazing. it's a cool industry, and I love everything I do. And Orla's fantastic to work for. So
that's awesome. Well, thank you for spending some time this morning with me and telling me a little bit about Orla and the South Railroad venture.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to call that. Project. And just letting us know about what you guys are doing and how you're getting out there. And I'm very excited for more people to learn about what you guys are doing, because it's very clear how passionate you are about your job, this community, and the mining industry, and just bringing that to life. It makes other people want to be passionate about something.
Thank you.
So
thank you. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming. We appreciate everything the Chamber does for not only us at Orla, but for the community in general. It's a great organization and really does a lot for small businesses.
We're trying, we're having fun. So I'm going to be doing these videos probably at least a couple times a month. So make sure you're following us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at Elko Area Chamber. Also check out our website, elkonevada.com, to see more of these videos and find out more about what's going on in the community and our local businesses. Thanks, Jaymie.
Thank you.